Wow, this is intense.
Why? What is it?
It says our final will be 50% of our grade. So even if we do everything else in the class, if we fail the final, we probably aren't going to pass the class.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure. But I guess we can probably avoid failing the final by keeping up in class.
Yeah, but I'm just not a good test taker. I always forget everything as soon as the exams get passed out. I think I just get too anxious or something. This really has me worried. Now listen to part of a lecture in an art history class.
Okay, now let's talk about the paintings of the Fauvist Henri Matisse. Matisse studied painting in Paris, a traditional kind of painting, and he was really good at it. But then, in the middle of his career, he made a study of the history of painting to figure out what he should paint. And he says that what he discovered was that color was the truly important thing in painting. And when you look at Matisse's paintings from later in his career, you can see what he meant by that. The colors of these paintings, well, you really should see them for yourself. But I'll tell you about one of them. So the painting is called Music, and it's a painting of several figures playing music. But you see, it's not like a band or an orchestra or something like that. It's a much more abstract painting. It's 5 figures. Some of them are standing, some of them are sitting down. And some have instruments. For example, one is playing a flute, while others of them look like they might be singing. But the most amazing thing about this painting is the color. It's this green and blue background, sort of like the ocean, but all the figures are painted in this striking shade of red. And of course, none of it actually happened. Matisse probably just imagined it. But, the colors of that painting really show how powerful painting can be. Hey, did you hear about the internships at the hospital this summer?
Yeah, I heard some of the other students in class talking about that.
Yeah, they're taking students to work there this summer. They're going to assign groups of students to a doctor so that they can do some shadowing and also just other things the doctor needs help on, like filing and keeping electronic records up to date.
That sounds useful for students like us who are trying to get into the medical field.
Definitely, I think it will be. We're going to need to have experience like this when we apply to medical school. It would be great to get started on building our applications so early, and it's a good way to get familiarized with the daily tasks and schedule in a hospital. It's like a perfect introduction to real life in the medical field. Plus, it pays. That's a great bonus as well.
Yeah, too bad I can't do it this summer.
Wait, why not?
Well, I want to retake my chemistry class.
Oh, did you fail?
No, but I didn't do very well. I just barely passed, and I'm worried that I don't really understand some of the concepts well enough. When I take more advanced classes, I'm worried that I won't really understand what's going on, and I'll just fall further behind.
Oh, so you don't have to take it then?
No, but I think it would be good for me. The professor said I could also work as a teaching assistant in the lab section, since I did fine on that part. So if I do that, I'll be able to retake the class for free.
Well, it seems to me like work experience would be more interesting and also better for your medical school applications. You did well enough in chemistry to pass, so you're probably fine not taking it again.
Maybe you're right. I could still drop out of the class, I guess. I'll think about it. Now listen to part of a lecture in a botany class.
Now, lots of plants, to protect themselves from being eaten, have developed what botanists call natural defenses, which allow them to resist the threats posed by predatory animals in their environment. Now, if you think about being a plant, there's really not much you can do to avoid predators. After all, plants are rooted to the ground, and they don't have legs or other limbs to propel them to safety. And, of course, they don't have claws that they can use to fight back against predators. So what do? Well, one natural defense that a lot of plants have developed is poison. So consider a plant that you've maybe heard of, known as hemlock. This is a plant that has spread throughout the world, and it can live on very little water. It also has remarkable natural defenses. Hemlock is extremely poisonous to animals. Even just a few leaves can be fatal. So hemlock is well defended against predators. Any animal that even tries to eat it won't be around long, and other animals will quickly learn to avoid it. So hemlock plants tend to be left alone and flourish. Not all plants require such extreme defenses. Some plants just make it very difficult for predators to eat them. Consider the coconut. Now, as you know, coconuts are very hard to open and eat. Usually you need to use a hammer or something like that to open them. So what's that? It's a natural defense. The insides of coconuts are actually very delicious. Maybe some of you have tried them, and they would be quickly devoured by predators if they were easy to get to. So the coconut has developed that really hard brown shell, which you know about. So that is actually a protection against predators. The coconut can't run away from predators, or fight them, of course, so its hard shell is what protects it from all the animals that would like to eat it. So it's really amazing the kinds of natural defenses that plants develop.